Welcome to Mulls with Matt Leonard. That's me. This is a show where I talk about things happening. Right now I'm talking about a lot of video games because that's what I've been doing, but playing a lot of video games. I've been away, by away I mean on vacation on Cape Cod. It's summer. I have nothing to do, so I play video games. And we're talking about a few things happening in the news, happening over the last couple of weeks, and that's what we're talking about today. Firstly, I want to say that Mixed Nuts so far is pretty much floating, doing its thing. As far as I know, I'm the only one recording anything, doing anything of the sort, but that's besides the point, because the point is that you guys get to hear what I think. Not that anyone probably wants to know what I think, except for myself. Maybe I'm being narcissistic. Nah, whatever. Anyways, this is Matt Mulls over. The name might change, might stay the same. And today we're talking about Call of Duty. Recently, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was announced back in a couple weeks ago. I'm recording this May 16th. I don't even know what day it is. Yes, today is May 16th, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC was announced. Is it on other consoles? I don't think so. It was announced recently, a couple weeks ago, and it's been getting a lot of backlash. A lot of Call of Duty fans are not happy with it. It hit over 1 million dislikes on its YouTube reveal trailer, which is an unheard of number for something like that. And I kind of want to delve into why that's happening. So, number one, I think that the Call of Duty, like the people playing it, don't want another game. They don't, like by that I mean, they don't want another, future experience. Getting into that later too. They don't want to be playing a third sci-fi future thing, because we have Black Ops, which is crazy into the future. We have Ghosts, which is probably dead in the water. Seems to be like that was a one and done little trilogy thing that they were trying to do but didn't happen. And we have Advanced Warfare, which was its own thing. So in the past 3 years, we've had no sequels, all their own thing. Whether or not they're connected or not doesn't really matter, because they are all distinct in their own continuity. And Call of Duty players, or just gamers in general, don't want another one. We don't want to have to learn all of these other new future guns that you're creating for some reason, and there's no reason to care. It's kind of like if I went and made 3 Star Wars movies that were all set after, let's say, Episode 6. One of them being The Force Awakens, right? Let's say I made Force Awakens, and then someone else went and made another Star Wars movie after Return of the Jedi that wasn't canon. It might have been canon. It was its own canon. Like if you had if you had Return of the Jedi and then 3 offshoots of that, which is essentially what's happening here, where you had, your Modern Warfare series, and then World at War, Black Ops, and then you split into the future, 3 different paths that people don't want to have to follow all 3 of them. So, people aren't happy about that. People don't like what they're seeing because it looks so similar to Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, sort of Ghosts, Black Ops 2 even, you could go back that far. And maybe they're getting burnt out, maybe they just want something else. And number 2, as you see here, I have Modern Warfare Remastered, which is the other reason. People are mad that they have to buy Infinite Warfare, which they may or may not like, may or may not want to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. It's $20 more than standard Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which would be $60 in the United States. It's $80 for Modern Warfare Remastered along with your Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And people don't like that. People want to just buy their Modern Warfare remaster, not Infinite Warfare. Maybe Activision's, using that to sell more copies. Maybe Activision's using that just as another way to hit that $1 billion sold, or, $1 billion profit, or however many they sold. Maybe that's what's happening. But whether or not that is what's happening, people are mad that they have to pay more money for a game that they may or may not want, Infinite Warfare, to play Modern Warfare. Why? You can go on your Xbox 360, on your PlayStation 3, on your PC, and play Modern Warfare right now. You can go spend $20 on Steam, which is the exact price that you're paying over Infinite Warfare in several months, for Modern Warfare Remaster. No, you won't get the fancy graphics. No, you won't get to see Captain Price's fancy mustache. But do you need it? You're playing a multiplayer shooter, a competitive multiplayer shooter. It runs at 60 FPS on PS3 and 360, so you're not clamoring for that 60 FPS, unlike some other games that have been upgraded. It's like, it was at 30, now it's at 60, so now it plays great. So you aren't clamoring for that big old frame rate boost. You're not getting all of the maps, so maybe they'll be adding in DLC maps to Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remaster that are all of the maps that they just didn't put in at the time. I'm pretty sure you can also play it on the Xbox One. There might be backwards compatibility with that right now. I'm not sure. I don't have an Xbox One. And it's just, why are you so mad that you have to pay money for the remaster? And you're like, I want to be able to play Modern Warfare. When you can. It's a remaster of a game that came out almost 10 years ago. If you don't own Modern Warfare, go buy it for $3 for your 360 or your PS3, or the physical PC copy that you can probably find in bargain bins. Actually, you can. Because it's a game that sold so many copies and it's loved by so many people that people are still playing it. Yeah, you run into modded servers, people, ranking up to get super prestige for what? To go, oh, look, I did it. When in actuality they didn't, because they just cheated their way there. But why do you want the remaster so badly that you are going to downvote and dislike a new game? It's like, I am so mad that Activision wants to sell me a new game by selling me an old game. If you're mad about that, don't buy it. Just go play Modern Warfare. There's no need for you to be, not you specifically, unless maybe you did that, but I don't see the reason why, I guess. It doesn't make any sense to me that you're going to go and mass dislike this reveal trailer because they're giving you what you want. Even if you have to spend more money, obviously you're going to have to spend money to buy it, to get it. But if you're so mad about that, just go play Modern Warfare. Remove the remaster bit. Here. What's that? Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Yeah, go play that. Came out years ago. People play it. It's great. What do you need the remaster bit for? Some fancy graphics? Go play Infinite Warfare if you want fancy graphics. We're also talking about Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, which came out May 10th of this year, 2016, on the PlayStation 4 exclusively, developed by Naughty Dog. What did I write on here? Of course. So, reviews and being the odd one out. Naughty Dog crafted a fantastic game. They really did. You can't say it's broken. You could play it day one without a patch, play through the entire campaign. The entire single player had nary a bug from my experience, and for most people's experience, it didn't need a day one patch like 90% of the games coming out. 90% of the AAA games. Obviously, indie games are very different. But most of the games coming out need a day one patch. Uncharted 4 didn't. Maybe that's because they delayed it more. Maybe that's because they were smart. Maybe because most of their late development was on multiplayer. And I'm going to get into that later. But for what it's worth, Naughty Dog, made a great game. You may not like it, but that's like saying I didn't like The Lord of the Rings. You can't deny that it was well made or well written or well developed. You can't say that because it was. But then you have people, I'm going to leave that out of it, who it was, or who, like the publication or the whatever, I'm going to leave that out of it because that's not important. But let's say you didn't like it. Let's say you didn't like the entire series, and you have to review Uncharted 4. That's not how you do reviews. You don't give people reviews that already don't like the thing because of what it is. If I was to review something, don't give me rap. If I was to review like a rap album, I would do a terrible job of it because I don't know rap music. Not that I don't like it, I just don't know it. Another example, don't give me sports games because I don't care for sports games. They are probably all great games, or they're all bad games, but I don't know and I couldn't tell you the difference. If it's broken, then I can tell you the difference. Otherwise, it's just a hockey game or a basketball game. And I don't know. I just don't. You know, if I was to go and sit down and play, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. Call of Duty, actually. Let's go with that. I like first-person shooters. I'm not a very big competitive shooter person. So I'm going to be basing my review on the campaign. Most of it. And from what I can tell of the multiplayer. So, should I be given that when there's other people who like Call of Duty more than I do and are into that kind of game, you know, your fast-paced Twitch shooter, which I'm not into. So why would I be given that? The Elder Scrolls games, or even just Bethesda Game Studios developed games in general, I don't like. I play them, they are cheap, dumb, fun. But I don't really like them. You know, they've had the same bugs and the same glitches and the same problems for years. Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Skyrim all had the exact same save bug on the PlayStation 3, where as you would play, the save would get massive. You'd have massive save files, and then the game would have problems loading everything correctly, and you'd run out of RAM. The only Bethesda Game Studios developed game on the PlayStation 3 that didn't launch with that bug was Oblivion, because Oblivion was ported by someone else. This is all beside the point, but I wouldn't review those games because I would review them negatively because I don't like them. Inherently. So, if you're giving Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, to someone who doesn't like the Uncharted games, and especially someone who is known to go against the current with most of their reviews, and they already don't like this game because of the word Uncharted there, what are you doing? That's not how you write a review, that's bias. Which is the exact reason why I wouldn't review Uncharted for a large publication. Because I am biased. I bought a PlayStation 4 to play Uncharted 4. I did. It's a great game. I have a lot of fun with it. I think it's a great game. And it's well crafted. No matter who you ask, no matter what you can say about that game, it's well crafted. It's not broken. You can play through it and see 3 glitches. Tiny, minor, like visual glitches. Like an animation bugging out. That's like the biggest thing I saw. So, when you write a review with no substance, and just saying, I don't like it because it's Uncharted. I don't like it because it's a third-person shooter. Maybe you shouldn't be playing that game or reviewing it. What's even worse is when sites such as Metacritic are given a review that doesn't have a score, or doesn't have a visible score to people reading it. Doesn't have a visible score, and then it got dark. And then there's a review score put to that. You could probably guess what I'm talking about if you are following Uncharted 4 at all. But so a review score was given to a review that didn't have a score at all. When you can go on that website where the review is, which is don't do it. But read the review, and there's no score to it. You go on Metacritic, that review is given a score. While it brings the Metacritic down, I think, 1 point from 94 to 93. It's still a great game, by all accounts. You have this massively negative review on something that didn't even have a score. So this particular reviewer at their publication, it's not a news, it's not a video game website. It's not any sort of it's not for media. It's not, specifically about video games or entertainment media. It's news. But when you don't put a score on it, and then it ends up on Metacritic with a highly negative score because your reviewer is the odd one out and don't like these games in the first place, what are you doing? There are so many reasons that you can say that you didn't like the game. But giving it that sort of score arbitrarily, literally arbitrarily, because there was not a score on the review until it went on Metacritic. Doing that kind of screws with any sort of power that review has. It's go read the review. What substance did it have? I don't like Uncharted because it's Uncharted. Is like saying that I can just kind of spout something about something I don't like Call of Duty because it's a first-person shooter. And then giving that a massive negative review. Acting as if the game is broken, it doesn't work, and it's poorly crafted. It's not. And that's the problem here. Where you have a review that is so biased in before the person has even started playing the game, they are biased against that game. That's where you have a problem. I wouldn't review any Marvel Cinematic Universe movie because I'm biased against them. I wouldn't review a single superhero movie in the first place because I am biased against them. I don't like them for a lot of reasons, but if I was to review Batman vs. Superman, I wouldn't even go to see it. That's how little I care about that movie, because I know I wouldn't like it. So, that being said, go play Uncharted 4. If you like third-person shooters, if you like shooters, if you like Indiana Jones adventure games, it is magnificently crafted. This is the my feelings part. It's magnificently crafted, and go read that review if you're interested in seeing what someone thinks. It's pretty negative, and it doesn't have a lot of substance to it. It's not saying the shooting is bad, the gunplay is bad, and the gameplay is bad. These puzzles are dumb. The characters are unlikable. The story is formulaic and dumb. It doesn't say any of that, and that's the problem. It's not a review of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. It's a review of the series. It's literally just impressions. It's not, there's no substance to that review. I think it's a great game. I'd give it 9 out of 10 if I was giving it a score. Mostly because the multiplayer is weird. I am still super conflicted about the whole downing enemies system where you will shoot someone, they get down, and then you have to either shoot them more to KO them or go over and kick them and then they get KO'd. And then you get points. So my problem with that is that there is risk but no reward so often. By that I mean You risk getting that kill, securing that kill, and if you fail, you have gained nothing. You can down someone and then immediately get downed yourself. So you're like, all right, at least I downed them. They'll probably die, and I probably will too, but I can get revived. They could get revived. So you risk getting that kill, and then you are given no reward for it. You die. The enemy team heals that person. They are now fully capable of doing everything that they were before. Your team has gained no points from it. You might have gained a little bit of money in the game, like in-game, but you're not given anything for your risk. You can, you use gear, like your grenades and stuff. You can throw a grenade down 2 enemies, but it doesn't KO them, so you have to still go over and shoot them or like melee them so that you actually get points. So you can down 2 enemies, then get downed yourself, both of those enemies get revived, and you've just risked, your gear, you've wasted your gear now. Because now you have to wait for that to come back, you have like 80-second cooldown or something like that, and you are not given anything in return. That's the problem with Uncharted 4's multiplayer. There's risk, and so often, no reward. You lose the point of multiplayer. You're given a minuscule amount of rewards outside of matches. You win, you get 10 relics, and the cheapest anything is in that game that you can buy with relics is, I believe, 150 relics, which is 15 wins, which each game is about 10 minutes. That's 150 minutes if you win every single game, let's say, along with sitting outside of matches. You have to be playing that game for probably 3 hours to get any sort of reward outside of progression things. To be able to go, I bought this because I played the game. Everything else you get because you're playing, which is good. But in-game, you risk a lot with a very low chance of reward. And outside the game, you have no reason to keep coming back because it takes so long to get anything outside, like in the actual meta progression customization. You have to risk a lot of time for a little amount of reward. You play a 10-minute match, you lose, you have gained nothing. You might have gotten a couple progression kills for mods and things like that, but in the grand scheme of things, you've gained nothing from that. And that's the problem, because it's why would I keep playing this game if I'm not given anything for it? Even here's 5 relics in the game. And that's the problem, because you have people that need some sort of progression. They need a reason to keep playing your game. And there isn't one. In so many facets of Uncharted 4's multiplayer, there's no reason to keep playing. Every time that I down people, I am so worried that I wasted my ammo. I wasted that gear. That was, why did I even do that? Because I've just wasted ammo that they're just going to get revived. I've gained nothing. My team has gained nothing. They've been, and then I die, and then I get killed, actually KO'd. There was risk and no reward. Obviously, if you fail, you shouldn't be rewarded, but there's not enough incentive built into Naughty Dog's Uncharted 4's multiplayer to keep coming back. So unless they do some big changes, it's going to see a pretty substantial fall off of players, I think. There's also the whole rope grappling hook one-hit KO, where you see people in the game running around, just waiting to get that kill, just waiting for it. And that's another problem, because that's massive risk. And again, you can hit people, get a down, but then you get killed because you've been running around with this thing being a crazy head, and then you've risked with no reward. Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3's multiplayer, you shoot someone, they die. They get KO'd, whatever you want to call it, but their player character dies. You can throw a grenade, it blows up, you get a kill. There you go, you did it. Uncharted 4 multiplayer, you throw a grenade, which is gear that you have to wait like 80 seconds or maybe like 50 seconds at the least to use another one. You get a down, they get revived. You've wasted that. You have been given nothing in return besides a little bit of in-game money. And why do you keep doing it? It's like Call of Duty does the same thing. You've like whatever it is, like when you get downed, there's that perk. You get downed, if you are alive long enough, you get back up. That person just wasted their time. You've wasted their time. You might have killed them while you were down. That's how much they wasted their time. And having these risks is important, but you also need to reward people for playing that game, for playing your game, which there isn't enough reward in Uncharted 4, whether in the multiplayer's games themselves or outside of the games. There's not enough incentive or reason to keep playing. That being said, the single player is magnificent. I'm excited for any sort of co-op coming out, and it's a good game. Like, it's a good game. It's well crafted. It's well written. You might not like it. It might be cliche. It might be boring to you, but you can't deny that it is a well-made game. This has been Matt Mulls Over. My name is Matt Leonard, and I might be doing more of these. This might be the only one. No one might ever see this because I might not put it on YouTube because I think I'm an idiot. This is also backwards. I might be able to fix it at some point. Who knows?